American lives and hostages taken. The USS Carrier Strike Force Group Gerald R. Ford on its way to Israel, the Eastern Mediterranean Sea, to be prepared for whatever may come. Why do you send an aircraft carrier group? We claim we're sending them there or we're going to provide munitions and support to Israel. Well, you don't need an aircraft carrier group to provide munitions. What's cooking? Guys, this is escalating. Have a look at this, guys. Check this out. Hamas spokesman admitted to the BBC that Iran backed their onslaught, their invasion into Israel, and they did. They invaded at least 20 kilometers into Israel from Gaza Strip. They took bases. They took military bases. They downed helicopters and other equipment. But guys, not just Hamas, but a new front in the war has opened. Hezbollah and Israel are exchanging fire in the north. And on top of that, there's talk of the Taliban trying to find a way to get in and support the fight. So, guys, what is coming? Iran has already got their fingers dirty in this, and you can bet that Israel is willing to take action on that. The United States may be getting involved. This could blow all out of picture. Who knows where this is going? Let's hope that don't escalate to this level, but things are changing fast. Netanyahu has told the Gazans to get out, because we're coming in and we're going to level any and everything that had any support for the incursion into Israel, for this invasion. However, where are the Gazans going to run to? Gaza is just a little compound that's at its nearest point, maybe 5 miles wide and 25 miles long. Guys, Sand Mountain, where I grew up, is 25 miles wide and 75 miles long. You could fit 15 Gaza strips into the area where I grew up. But Gaza has something like 2.6 million people crammed in this place. Where are they going to run to? Well, they do have tunnels. There's like 500 miles of tunnels on the Gaza Strip, which means that any war there is going to look like Metropolis beginning, maybe more like Bakhmut. Essentially, Israel might level the whole area. Every building standing in the world could continue. This could be ugly. This could be because of all the tunnels underneath. These people are going to probably go down into the tunnels. But, I feel for the civilians in both areas. Guys, this is something that can escalate, and really it adds to the whole World War III tensions, because, as you know, Iran and Russia are allied, and Iran is sending lots of stuff to Russia to support their war with Ukraine. Iran and China have alliances, and we've got this situation where Iran apparently helped instigate this entire incident, but it was probably in part because of this new alliance of forming between, and I mentioned this early on, and now this is coming out in articles. I didn't see it in any article before I said it, but there's been a new alliance developing between Israel and Saudi Arabia, something that could change the whole face of the Mideastern conflict and isolated Iran and their proxies. So Iran really don't want that to happen. They would like to drive a wedge between Israel and Saudi Arabia. But so far, it looks like, Saudi Arabia is going to really chomp on anything happening in Gaza Strip. But Saudi Arabia wants the support of Israel, particularly, apparently, for nuclear weapons to counter Iran. So, guys, and that's part of it, nuclear weapons from Israel toward the Saudi Arabians to counter nuclear warheads in Iran, perhaps. We also know that, Israel has quite a number of nuclear warheads themselves. Remember, to be anywhere from 200 to 400, which is a lot more than Iran would have. So people say, well, yeah, that's a huge disparity. Why would Iran do that? Well, they've only take 2 nukes to take out Israel, actually, because if they took out Haifa and Tel Aviv, Israel would be done. Israel would be finished, guys. So maybe that's another reason Israel wants to have some counterforce that's also armed on their side in an area geographically apart from them. And Israel also needs the overflight permissions from Saudi Arabia and some other areas to get into, or at least for refueling and things like that, so they can stage their forces and get them into Iran. And apparently Saudi Arabia has been willing to go along with it. So this could be really the first front in a bigger war between Iran and Israel. This is what this might boil down to. And having Americans taken hostage and American lives taken may pull us into it. Now, this whole thing, don't take my word for it. I'll show you some articles, but nonetheless, then the Secretary of State, Lloyd Austin, is the one who authorized and said it himself that he was sending the Gerald R-4, the world's biggest, newest, most advanced aircraft carrier, straight into the action. Well, maybe not action yet, but we don't know. Why do you send an aircraft carrier strike group over there? If you're going to give military support, it don't take an aircraft strike group to do it unless you're having contingencies. I'm not saying our side's the United States is going to attack, but having American hostages, having Americans that were lives have been taken, and we know of supposedly 3 so far. There may be more. That changes the dynamic. There will be a lot of pressure from our side on the Defense Department administration. I'm not taking sides on this, guys. Whatever side you take is at this point immaterial to what's going to happen and go forward. What you need to know is to get ready. That's why I bring you these things, because the world is all this happened to the drop of a hat. Even I come on here and I talk about normalcy Normans who attack me all the time. Greg, nothing's ever going to happen. Well, I was almost one of them on this. I mean, guys, I went live session and this started breaking as I was about to launch my live session. I thought, well, this happens all the time over there. The Gazans and Israelis are always fighting each other, and every so often they have a big war and a lot of missiles fly. But this was a lot bigger. This is a lot bigger. This time the Gazans were ready. This time they were prepared. This time they were armed. They were able to take out and shoot down Israeli helicopters and aircraft. They were able to take Israeli tanks. Were able to take Israeli military installations. Now, a lot of these military installations they took were really small-scale installations about the size of maybe a football field that would have held a squad or two of Israeli military members and a few armored vehicles that basically had those, they're basically built out of these concrete barriers like you see on highways stacked up like a fortress with some prison-type towers to guard, but that wasn't good enough. They got taken. So a lot of the captured people were soldiers. A lot of them have been civilians. The Hamas actually attacked a music festival and took the lives of about 250 people at a music festival. So the casualties are going up. The death rate's going up. It's escalated out of hand, guys. So if you think that everything is going to be normal, that it's going to be the same old thing, nothing's going to happen, then you are blind and deaf. I'm sorry to tell you. Hey, like I said, I nearly got caught by that one on this. Here I am talking about all the stuff that can be happening, and this one caught me a little bit by surprise, even just the power and punch that the Gazans had. The Gazans had to be prepared for that. They had to be well armed. Where did they get that stuff from? Well, according to Gaza, according to the Gazans, they got it from Iran. And that is just going to add fuel to the fire because Israel's been itching to hit Iran already. Iran's been anticipating it. This alliance, like I said, has been a key thing. I'm going to show you some articles real quick, and I'm going to try to conclude this video. But guys, if you think things are normal, wake up. I'm going to do a share screen here. Here we are, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. Yeah, this is the Commie News Network. I hear a conservative bought this network, but I don't know. But in any event, this tells you what Blinken is saying. And he's the Secretary of State. So he said at least 3 Americans. So guys, take it seriously. This is very serious. Now, another thing, all these captured people over there, all the hostages, will make it more complicated on the attacks that Israel or maybe the United States would put on the Gazans, because we don't know where they're at over there. This part of the, these may be like human shields in part because you don't know where to hit or where not to hit. So, but maybe that won't make any difference. Who knows, guys? Things are very complex and going forward. This is going to be a tough war. So, guys, you better get ready for things. Do whatever you can. I highly encourage you to avail yourself to opportunities like this one, where you can get 25% off a 3-month supply of food that lasts 25 years. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Guys, that's 3 months of food. 3 months, 3 meals per day for 3 whole months. So when you consider that, that price is pretty amazing. It's 2,000 calories per day, too, guys. 21 different varieties, 25 years shelf life. So it's got oxygen absorbers. This is quite a bit, guys. And these are easy to transport. And then after you're done with these buckets, are valuable to a prepper, if you know what I mean, guys. And if you can't afford that, you might look down here for a 2-week supply. Even this has value. the cool thing I like about these buckets are they're easy to bury. They're easy to store in a cache, and they're easy to carry. They're easy to bury and easy to carry. And you can take the pouches out and put them in your backpack when you got a bug out, your bug out bag. It's real easy to deal with this stuff. So, guys, when you're considering what's cooking, I would think real hard about it, because you can also go in here to My Patriot Supply and avail yourself to many other kinds of prep and supplies. If you don't like that kind of food, if that's not what you want, check out their other stuff there. They got water filtration, other survival items, gear, many things. So just check it out. Anyway, enough said for that. Prepwithgreg.com. Prepwithgreg.com is how you find that. Links below. All right, Americans among hostages captured. So we know that we've had some whose lives have been taken, hostages captured. How many? We apparently don't know yet. But the U.S. response is the Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group is moving in the Eastern Mediterranean. Yeah, aircraft and all. So look out. This is a U.S. Navy news. It's not. This is actually a private group. Well, yeah, it's a private group that reports on naval matters here in the United States from inside of U.S. Senate's most advanced aircraft carrier, and heavily armed strike group, Israel's coast, and will supply the country with more weapons and ammo. Is this purely just a supply mission? Time will tell. I don't know, guys, but it's getting interesting. Pentagon is sending more F-35s, F-15s, F-16s, and A-10 top aircraft to the region. So we're sending fighter jets in addition to the carrier strike group. Now, all this don't fit on this one carrier strike group project. The A-10s don't go with that. So some of these aircraft are coming in from other sources. So it's not just a carrier strike group that's going there, guys. Not just a carrier strike group. All right, I've hit on that enough. Here's another picture of this carrier strike group in motion. So this is to be taken seriously. Over 700 Israelis have been lost their lives to this. This is some of the latest numbers. I don't know. I saw where somewhere just said 1,000, but I think this is pretty much up to date here. Lordy, guys. Hamas spokesman says Iran gave support for surprise attack on Israel. How you say this? Ghazi Hamad. He told it to the British Broadcasting, what do we call it? BBC. So this is what's cooking, guys. Now, just to show you the area under attack from Gaza. Gaza's in pink. Israel's kind of a green and white here. All this blue is the area invaded by the Gazans. Look, this area right here, this is just 5 miles right here. This is 25 miles this way. You got over 2.5 million people crammed in here. Crammed, I say, crammed. It's like living in a sardine can, probably. I just can't imagine so many people crammed in such a small area. How do they feed themselves? How do they take care of themselves crammed in there like that? Lord. So Taliban, Hezbollah, I'm not taking sides here, people. I'm just reporting this. I know there's members of my audience are on both sides of this. The purpose I'm bringing this to you for, so you'll know the dire straits we're in this world, and that you better be getting yourself and your family prepared. Taliban, Hezbollah could join current Palestinian war on Israel. Well, apparently Hezbollah has already joined in. That's enough. Would Hezbollah do it? Netanyahu tells Gazan residents to clear out. Well, at least he told them before he hit them. So you got to give them a little credit, but I don't know where they're going to run to. Fears of ground invasion of Gaza grow as Israel vows mighty vengeance. Well, the ground invasion, we see Israel strike with aircraft and level buildings. The ground invasion is the tough part. That's where you're dealing with all the people in the tunnels. That's where the fight gets gritty. That is tough fighting if you're going to go into an area like Gaza with so many people and so many tunnels. And apparently now they're well armed. That is not going to be a cakewalk for anybody. People are fearful of what's to come. Gaza civilians flee. Where are they fleeing to? Tunnels? Flee waves of Israeli strikes. Here's a Gazan, some Gazans going, they're in shock. Here's one of their buildings with the different floors on it have pancaked. Who knows who's in there? You can see the emotion in their faces. They're all reacting to it, but they knew this was coming, you would think. Massive IDF call-up as gunfights continue. And yeah, this is article is already dated from time. It's a day old, and we know the count has gone higher than this. Per back here, the article I just showed you said 700. Like I said, I've seen bigger numbers now. All righty. Like I say, these articles get dated as soon as they come out. Israeli military base captured. Soldiers were, lives were lost in a Hamas operation, and many were captured. So I'm not going to go through the gross details on that. But Israel at war with Hamas after unprecedented. Well, that's not new. What was? Oh yeah, Hezbollah claims responsibility for targeting Israeli sites. That's what I was getting from this article. That's a pretty mountain. Kind of reminds me of the Appalachian Mountains in the Blue Ridge area. Too bad you get such ugly war and bloodshed in such a beautiful place. Hezbollah claims responsibility for targeting Israeli sites. So the fight is on, guys. This is expanding. That's what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. Taliban vows to conquer Jerusalem if Iran, Iraq, and Jordan allow passage to Israel. Now, a lot of this stuff the Taliban got, look at these M16s. Where do they get the M16s here? Oh, yeah. They are heavily armed from all the stuff that Joe B left over there. We left $85 billion worth of armaments over there as a prize gift to the Taliban, apparently. Yikes, guys. Here's one of these festival goers, heartbroken, apparently in tears, talking about they were going from tree to tree and firing. Guys, 250 people lost their lives in that, apparently. So, but even though the hostages are there and this might be difficult to execute, military expert says Israel's actions will be without restraint. Well, will they? I don't know. Given all the hostages there, will they or will they not be without restraint? Of course, if you cave to hostage holders, you got other issues, guys. So, I think I just closed the article I was wanting to show y'all. Sometimes you click stuff. Yeah, I accidentally closed on one that showed you Gaza. But I'd paint things by, I was going to show you the population density. Oh, well, we'll cover that again maybe tonight. I'll bring it back up. But guys, look here. Israel itself's a small country nation. I said you fit 15 Gaza strips on Sand Mountain. If anybody knows northeast Alabama, you know where Sand Mountain is. It goes from Chattanooga to Birmingham. 75 miles long, 25 miles wide. But you could fit Israel almost within that area of North Alabama, north of the Tennessee River. Yeah, we got a lot of Alabama north of the Tennessee River, in case you didn't know. The Tennessee Valley is mostly in Alabama. I know. I live in that part of Alabama north of the Tennessee River. I'm well north of the Tennessee River. It takes me 30 minutes to get down that river, driving south. Anyway, guys, a lot of stuff seems to be heading over toward this. I don't know. It's hard for me to say what this video is directly. It looks like you see the Israeli writing here. And a quote, "We will fight them to the bitter end and avenge this black day. They plotted for Israel and its people." I think that's a Netanyahu quote. All right, folks, I think I've shown enough of this. So bear in mind, we are in very tense times. Things are escalating fast. And just like this happened all at once, at the drop of a hat, from a lot of our perspectives, you don't know when things might turn, when things can escalate. What I've been telling you is that our doomsday planes have been in the air, 2 and 3 of them at a time every day for days now, along with B-52s. We've had our big nuclear alert drill. Russia's had major nuclear drills. Times are, guys, this is the kind of time, even if neither side really wants a war, they can make a mistake. We've got our aircraft all along the Russian area border, and Russians are intercepting a lot of our aircraft, and the same thing's happening on the other foot. We're also intercepting their aircraft. Guys, there's tons of potential for major mistakes to happen. We have both Russian and American forces in Syria. That could get serious in a hurry, especially with all this going on here in Israel, especially with Hezbollah getting involved. Hezbollah, is based out of Lebanon and Syria. So Yeah, things can get very serious very fast, and we just put the biggest aircraft carrier strike group in the world, the most technologically advanced one, into the area, potentially into the fight. I don't know, guys. I don't know. All I can say is prep and pray and hope we have a better day. But guys, if you're not paying attention now, I don't know what to think. Keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel because it's coming at us from all directions. And while this stuff is going on, you know, we're losing attention on other matters like the stuff with the WHO. So there's many other things cooking, guys. Many things cooking, and some of it has fallen off our radar that we need to pay a lot of attention to. But the main thing you need to do is do anything you can to get ready. Whether you're buying one little kibble to go your nugs, you got to keep a nug fed, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about with nugs, flip the word around if you're new to my channel. And I'm trying to not get in trouble. I spent all day yesterday doing one video because I had to, after I did all the research and edited it and put it up. Well, I didn't edit it first, but I had to later because it got banged by the platform. I had to take out certain things. Yeah, that one's over on my full videos on my Rumble channel now. I got a Rumble Swivelhead News channel, Swivelhead News on Rumble. Anywho, guys, it's cooking and it's getting a lot hotter, a lot faster. Pay attention. Pay attention. So thank you for watching. Greg out.